Hi, we're going to be looking at a few Google tools today. I'm at my Google Drive right now, and if I go to Create, you'll see I get a list. We're going to look at Document, Presentation, and Spreadsheet. And if you click on one, it'll open up in a new tab, and the first one we're going to look at is Document. Google Document is basically Microsoft Word. You've got your font size, font types. You can do bullets, you can do left, center, right justified, print. You've got all your basic tools here that you'd have in Word. Same if you're going to type something and I misspell it, you get the red line right here signifying that you need to have something spell checked, and if you right click that, it'll ask, and no, we don't mean that, but we'll go ahead and get rid of this. If you go to Insert, you'll find some things that aren't found on the toolbar, such as Comment. Comments are cool because when we're sharing documents with other people, let's say someone puts in and you're viewing this and someone else typed that and you want to comment on that, you can go to Insert Comment, and now you can type in whatever you think you need to put. And now whenever anyone else logs in on this document and looks at it, they'll see your comments. This is a good way to critique others and for them to see if they have something, misspellings, grammar errors, anything like that. Comments are very useful for, even if you want to give them some positive feedback as well. When you're working on Google Doc, it automatically saves, but you can go to File, to Download, and you can see you can download it in Word, OpenOffice, PDF, pretty much any format you would want, as well as email it to the people who it's shared with, or as an attachment to someone who doesn't have it. This way they get the updated version. Even though it updates live, this gives them a reminder that says, hey, we've worked on something. Something else that's cool is revision history. If we look at this, we can see here's the revision history, and this is today, and this is me working on the document. Now, if someone works on it tomorrow and does some significant changes, and it would take forever to get back to that, we can just go to revision history and click back on it, and it would take us back before those revisions were made, so you don't have to worry about losing any work. It's really cool. An important thing to remember when working with any type of Google document is when you make it, it does not name it, and it defaults to untitled document. Be sure to click on this. I need to get out of revision history first because it's looking at the old version. But out of this, click on it, and it will allow you to name it. And name it something that is relevant, so other people who look at it know what it is. Don't name it that one thing I was working on Monday, because other people aren't going to know what you were working on Monday, or any random stuff. Name it something that people will know. Wiring diagram for Monday's project. Now they know for Monday's project, this is the wiring diagram they need to look at. Alright, back at Google Drive, I'm now going to create a presentation. A presentation is the equivalent of a Microsoft PowerPoint, and you can see it opens up and asks you to choose themes. I usually just choose Simple Light. I would get into all the background images and color stuff. I do that after I have the content in there. So just press OK. And now you can see, again, we have a toolbar up here with some very similar commands to other programs we've used, such as undo, redo. You've got your zoom if you want to zoom in, text box, shape, similar stuff that you've probably seen before in PowerPoint. If you right-click over in this left sidebar area, you can make a new slide, duplicate a slide that's already made, or delete one, as well as go into the background and layout. Again, like the Google Doc, you can go and download it as file formats that would be very useful to you, such as PowerPoint if you want to run this on your computer, and you can even save it out as images if you wanted to. A cool feature for Google Presentation is that you can insert YouTube videos directly into the presentation. Since it's stored online, these videos will be there, and when you go to your presentation, it will load them and stream them inside of your presentation, so there's no need to have a video downloaded. So if there's a video on YouTube that you don't have access to download, you don't have to worry about any wonky nonsense with PowerPoint trying to access a hyperlink to the internet. Once you've created a presentation, you can go to Start Presentation, and you can start with the current slide or with speaker notes if you make notes, which are down here, similar to PowerPoint. And that'll bring you into a new window, similar to PowerPoint, and you would click through and your slide would show. Alright, back in Drive, the last thing we're going to look at is Spreadsheet. Spreadsheet is similar to Microsoft Excel. We've got our table layouts. We've got, again, similar tools. We can do font size, we can do font type and color. If we put in some data similar to Excel, let's just say we have a few people and they are doing a fundraiser. So we've got these 5 people, and each of them sells a different amount of whatever product they have. And Bill does very well. Bob, not so much. Alright, so we've got this data now input into the table. Now that we've got this data in a spreadsheet, which is sometimes all you need, you just need something to glance at and find information, but sometimes you want a more visual medium, so you can select these cells that you want, and go to Insert, and down at the bottom you'll see Chart. And if we insert Chart, and we don't want any gauge graph, whatever that is, but we have bar and column, which are really good, and it's probably what we'd use, and you can see it's color coordinated with their names in there, and now we can visually see the differences in sales. Man, Bob did really bad there. And you can go to charts and you can get really specific if you want. They have different types of formats. Again, depending on your data, it may not work. And some also you have to put in more data. Pie chart's probably not going to work. Scatter. You can really get almost anything you'd want. Customize the charts even more. Add a title, which you should do so others who are sharing the document with you will know what the chart's actually about. The font, the color, you can change what axis the data is on. You know, pretty detailed. And then you can, again, you can download this as an Excel, or you can even, if we make the chart, so let's make, now we have this, and we don't care about the spreadsheet. You can click on the chart, and we can delete it, or we can save it as an image. That way we can have it on our computer, and now it's down here. We have the chart. Fantastic. And now we can put that in something. And you can even take this chart and you could put it into, drag and drop into a Google document or a Google presentation. Or if you have it saved on your computer, you can upload it with the insert image that we saw. I've clicked Calendar up at the top navigation bar, and now it's showing me my personal Google Calendar. Right now I don't have any calendars actually enabled. I'm just looking at a generic calendar. We can go to My Calendars. Any calendars you've created, you can click on to turn on. You can see there's school stuff, and you can turn them off. That way if it gets cluttered. There are other calendars. For instance, this is just a default US holiday calendar, but if someone shares a calendar or I want to add a calendar, I can go here and add that calendar, and then I can click whether I want it to display or not. And you can change how you view the calendar. Up here you can click day, week, month, 4-day. Sometimes depending on how the events that you have are scheduled, these views are better. Obviously if you want a big overview, you're probably going to go to month, but if you have a lot of appointments in one day or a few days, you're going to go to day or 4 days. We're back in month view, and I'm going to make a new calendar. And to do that, I'm just going to click on this arrow under My Calendars, and I can create a new calendar. I'm going to call this calendar Test Calendar. And you can see I can make this public so other people can search this on Google or have the link, or I can enter the email address and share this with only certain people I want, as well as change what they can do. Can they add events? Can they change events I've added, or just see my events? So that's how you share that, and depending on what kind of content you have in it would depend on the permission settings you give them. So I'm going to create this, and now I have a test calendar. And you can see it down here. We're going to add an event. You can add an event simply by clicking on a day, and it will give you the day, what's the event, and what calendar. You can change the calendar that's going on by clicking the drop down. This is going to go on the test calendar, and this is just going to be a test event. It doesn't care. I don't care what time it is. I just need to know that on the May 25th there's a test event. Enter, bam, it's there. But what if that event needs to happen at a certain time, certain location? what you can do is you can go to create, and it's going to take you to this create page. And now I can put in test event. I can set the time. I can set if it's all day, if it repeats. And if it repeats, I can say when does it repeat? Every week on a Friday? Maybe it repeats every day. However you want to get into it, depending on the event, when it ends. Really in depth, really powerful. We're going to go back, discard. I already had this event though, so I don't want to go to create to make one. I can click on this, and I can edit the event. It's going to take me back to the same page. So now I can change the color that the event is. I can set if it's going to send me a reminder. Email, pop-up. Email, very efficient. Also, if you just want to invite someone to an event, you can do that here, and they'd get an email, and it would tell them and alert them, hey, this test event is going on May 25th all day. Even if they're on the calendar, sometimes it's good to do this because it'll send them another reminder. So we can save that. And also you can go and you can print your calendar if you want a paper copy. And that's Google Calendar. Very simple and very powerful. This has been a brief video showing you the different features and tools of certain Google apps. If you have any further questions, you can check the Google Guide document that's been shared to you, as well as the Google Workflow drawing.